very happy to meet you all once again in our new class. So currently we are discussing about the past of India, right? So our chapter is introducing the past, and in this lesson we are going to learn about the history of India, right? So already we have completed 2 classes in this, and in that we have learned about timelines and what is the meaning of history and what are the various sources of history, right? Do you remember those things? So in today's class we are going to learn about the history of India, okay? Shall we start? Yes, see, India has a wonderful and glorious past, okay? Our India has a very big past, okay? So it is divided into 3 periods. The past of India is divided into 3 periods. What are they? Ancient period, medieval period and modern period, okay? So the history of India is divided into 3 periods. What are they? Ancient period, medieval period and the modern period. Don't forget, okay? So among that, first let us discuss about the ancient period, okay? So in today's class we are going to learn about the ancient period, okay? So see, when it began from prehistory and continued till 700 Common Era, okay? So it started from prehistory, from the very beginning, and it ended at 700 Common Era, okay? So we have ancient period from prehistory till 700 Common Era. Don't forget, okay? Ancient period started from prehistory and ended at 700 Common Era. So now what is this prehistory? What is that prehistory period means? So see, prehistory is the time in history before information was written down, okay? That means it is a very early age. So people have not written anything about their lives, okay? So nothing written evidence can be found, okay? No written evidence can be found at those period, okay? That means it was a very early age, okay? Before people started writing, okay? So that is prehistory. So prehistory is the time in history before the information was written down, okay? And see, when it begins with early farming settlements of the Indus Valley. So the first civilized settlement was Indus Valley civilization, okay? So this prehistory starts from this Indus Valley settlement and it moves towards the growth to the cities, okay? So in our grade 3 we have learned about early humans, right? So early humans simply lived in forests like animals. So when they started to grow plants by their own, so when they started to know about farming, they have their own settlements. They started settling in their own place, okay? So their first civilized settlement is this Indus Valley settlement, okay? So this prehistory begins from this Indus Valley civilization and it grows and it moves towards the growth of cities, okay? So this is the time period of ancient period. So this ancient period began from prehistory and it continued till 700 Common Era, okay? And then see some of the important events that occurred in this ancient period, okay? So around 1500 before Common Era. So in before Common Era, now I am giving you 2 years, okay? Let us take 100 before Common Era and 1500 before Common Era. Which is the latest date and which is the previous date? Which is the latest one? See this 100 before Common Era is the latest one, okay? Because we will write, we have learned that we will write the years in the before Common Era in descending order, right? So this 1500 BCE is the earliest date and if the lower numbers less than this will be there, no? So maybe if we take 100 before Common Era, that is the recent year, okay? Don't forget. So around 1500 before Common Era, the tribes means persons belonging to the Central Asia, okay? So the tribes from Central Asia came to India and they settled in India, okay? So those persons are called as Indo-Aryans, okay? So Indo-Aryans means what? People who came from Central Asia and settled in India, okay? And this happened around 1500 before Common Era, okay? At those period this happened. And also, see around this 1500 before Common Era, so many Vedas have been written, okay? So this Hindus have so many Vedas, right? So those Vedas were written during this 1500 before Common Era. Okay, around that period, so many Vedas were written. So this period is known as Vedic age. Okay, so period around 1500 before Common Era is known as what? Vedic age. Okay, and some of the books written during this period are the Ramayana and Mahabharata. We know Ramayana and Mahabharata, right? So this Ramayana and Mahabharata were written during this Vedic age only. Okay. So see, around 1500 BCE, tribes from Central Asia came to India and settled there. Those people are called Indo-Aryans. Okay. And also around this period, so many Vedas have been written. So this period around 1500 before Common Era is known as Vedic age. Okay. And also see, Ramayana and Mahabharata were the books written during this period. Okay. Yes, now let us see some of the important kingdoms during this period. Okay, so the first most important kingdom during this period is Magadha kingdom. Okay, so see, this Magadha kingdom emerged as the most powerful kingdom of North India. So this Magadha kingdom was famous in North India. Okay, so this emerged as the most powerful kingdom in North India, and around 321 before Common Era. So around this period, 321 before Common Era, see, Chandragupta Maurya. Okay, Chandragupta Maurya became the ruler of Magadha dynasty and formed the Mauryan dynasty. Okay, so around this period, 321 before Common Era, Chandragupta Maurya is becoming the king of this Magadha kingdom. Okay, and he renamed the Magadha dynasty as Mauryan dynasty. Okay, based on his name, he has Maurya in his name. No, so based on his name, he renamed the Magadha kingdom as Mauryan dynasty. Okay. So now let us learn about Mauryan dynasty. See, so now Ashoka. Ashoka is the grandson of Chandragupta Maurya. Okay, Ashoka is the grandson of Chandragupta Maurya. So next to Chandragupta Maurya, Ashoka became the next ruler. Okay, to this Mauryan dynasty. So Ashoka is a powerful ruler. Okay, Ashoka is a powerful ruler in this Mauryan dynasty. So Ashoka is the grandson of Chandragupta Maurya, and next to Chandragupta Maurya, Ashoka became the ruler. Okay, and see, how was this Ashoka? He was a brave and powerful ruler. Okay, he was very brave and very powerful, who fought many wars with other kingdoms. So why they are fighting wars? To capture other kingdoms. Okay, so that they can extend their kingdom. If they are capturing more place, then their area for rule will be very big, right? So as this Ashoka is very brave and powerful, he fought many wars to capture other kingdoms also. Okay, so but among that one war was Kalinga war. Okay, Kalinga war is a war that happened at a place called Kalinga. Okay, so this Kalinga war brought a change in Ashoka. Okay, so Ashoka is a brave and powerful ruler, and his main aim was to extend his kingdom. Okay, so he conducted so many wars to capture other kingdoms. But there was a turning point in his life, that is this Kalinga war. Okay, so this Kalinga war is bringing some change in Ashoka. Okay, so what changed this? So see, what happened during this Kalinga war is the bloodshed and loss of life in Kalinga war made him upset. Okay, we know, right, war means itself what will happen, so many people will die, right? The persons from opposite team as well as from our own region will die. So many people will die, and also so many people will lose their body parts. So many will get wounded, right? So there will be lot of bloodshed. No, so seeing this bloodshed and loss of lives, Ashoka got upset. Okay, he was upset with that. So what he did? So from that, he decided not to fight wars and embraced Buddhism. Okay, so seeing that, from that moment, Ashoka decided we should not fight any more wars, and he started following Buddhism. So the main motto of Buddhism is to be kind with everyone, right? So seeing that loss of lives and more bloodshed, Ashoka decided not to conduct any war again, and he started to follow Buddhism. Okay, and what he did? See, many rock and pillar inscriptions were put up by Ashoka in different parts of his empire so that people could read his message. Now Ashoka have changed his mind, right? So for him now, no people should lose their lives and everyone should be very kind, and he started following Buddhism, right? So what he did to spread Buddhism, he wrote so many rock and pillar inscriptions, okay? See, this is a rock inscription, okay, writing something on the rock so that people can read that and use it, okay. So he have written so many rock and pillar inscriptions about his decision so that people can also follow that, okay. So next to Mauryan dynasty, the other powerful dynasty during this ancient period is Gupta dynasty, okay. So next to Mauryan dynasty, the next powerful dynasty is Gupta dynasty, okay. So what happened under this Gupta dynasty? See, under Gupta dynasty, Indian subcontinent became rich and powerful, okay. At that time, Indian subcontinent means our India, Pakistan, all countries will include, right. So after the British rule only, we have separated as different countries. Now before that we are all together, okay. So under this Gupta dynasty, Indian subcontinent became rich and powerful, okay. So what is the period of Gupta dynasty? From 320 Common Era to 550 Common Era, okay. 320 Common Era to 550 Common Era. This period is known as Golden Age of Ancient India, okay. So the period of Gupta dynasty is known as the Golden Age of Ancient India. Why we are naming as a Golden Age? See, art, culture, science, mathematics, astronomy, grammar and study of other subjects became more powerful, okay. So India became more powerful in art, culture, science, mathematics, astronomy, grammar and study of other subjects, okay. That's why this Gupta period is known as the Golden Age of Ancient India, okay. So that's all about the ancient period, okay. So what are the things we have learned? What is the time period of ancient period, and then some of the important dynasties in the ancient period of India, right? Shall we recall all the concepts once again? So today we have learned about the history of India, right? So India has a wonderful and glorious past. So our history of India is divided into three periods. What are they? Ancient period, medieval period and modern period, okay. Indian history is divided into three periods. They are ancient period, medieval period and modern period. So in today's class we have learned about the ancient period. So when this ancient period began, it began from prehistory and continued till 700 Common Era. Started from prehistory and it continued till 700 Common Era. And what is prehistory? Prehistory is the time in history before information was written down, okay. So it begins with early farming settlements of the Indus Valley and it moves towards the growth of cities, okay. So ancient period started from prehistory and continued till 700 Common Era. And then see, some important happenings of this ancient period are around 1500 before Common Era, tribes from Central Asia came to India and settled here, okay. So those people are called as Indo-Aryans, okay. And also the period around 1500 BCE is known as Vedic age. Why? When Vedas were written, okay. At that time only Vedas were written. And also in this period Ramayana and Mahabharata were also written, okay. And then we have seen the important kingdoms of this ancient period, right? So first we have Magadha kingdom. This emerged as the most powerful kingdom of North India, okay. So in 321 BCE, Chandragupta Maurya became the ruler of Magadha dynasty and he formed Mauryan dynasty, okay. And then see, Ashoka became the ruler next to Chandragupta Maurya in Mauryan dynasty, and he was a brave and a powerful ruler, okay, and he fought many wars with other kingdoms. But Kalinga war brought a change in Ashoka. Why he have changed after that war? See, the bloodshed and loss of life in Kalinga war made him upset, okay. So after that he decided not to fight wars and started following Buddhism. Okay, so many rock and pillar inscriptions were put up by Ashoka in different parts of his empire so that people could read his message. Okay, so he started putting so many rock and pillar inscriptions so that people can read that and follow Buddhism. Okay, thus he spread Buddhism. Okay. And next is Gupta dynasty. The another important dynasty during this ancient period is Gupta dynasty. So under Gupta dynasty, Indian subcontinent became rich and powerful. Okay. So this period from 320 Common Era to 550 Common Era is known as the golden age of ancient India. Okay. Why it is known as the golden age of ancient India? Because during this period, art, culture, science, mathematics, astronomy, grammar and study of other objects also became more powerful. Okay. So that's all about today's class. Okay. So now I hope that you have a clear idea on ancient India, right? So shall I ask some questions? Yes. Now say me, what are the three divisions of the history of India? History of India is divided into three main divisions, right? They are ancient period, medieval period and the modern period. Very good. Yes. Now what is the time period of the ancient period? So it starts from prehistory and ends till 700 Common Era. Very good. And who is the grandson of Chandragupta Maurya? Yes, Ashoka. Very good. So children, I hope that you understood all the concepts what I have taught to you today, right? If you have any doubts, contact me, okay? So in the next class, we can learn about medieval period. Meet you in the next class. Thank you.